Hi everyone, I'm Laura from Omtara. Thanks for joining me here today. Teaching beading to others is one of my greatest passions, so I hope you enjoy the tutorial and happy beading. Hello, in today's lesson I'm going to teach you how to make a wire-wrapped loop with a crazy wrap or a bird's nest type of a wrap at the top. So I have on my beading mat my chain nose plier, my cutter, my round nose plier. I've got my wire, spool of wire. This is 24 gauge craft wire, and I've got 2 pearls waiting for me. So I have my wire cut, and for the crazy wrap or the bird's nest wrap, I like to cut a little bit extra wire. So I've got 4 inches of wire here cut and ready to go. So we'll start with our head pin, how to create a head pin. I've got my wire. I'm going to straighten it out a little bit. And using my round nose pliers, which are the ice cream cone shaped, I'm going to grasp the tip of the wire close to the tip of the tool. And with my working hand, I'm going to push the wire around the tool. I'm going to use that nice round tool to shape a curve at the end of the wire. When I take out my tool, I've got a small J shape. And I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and just squeeze that shape out of that J until I end up with a little teardrop. What I'm really trying to do is take the tip of the J and push it back against the main wire. So there's my one head pin. I'll do that with a second. Round nose is at the tip of the wire, close to the tip of the tool. I'll straighten out my wire, push with my working hand around the tool till my wire faces the opposite direction. Take my wire out. Using my chain nose pliers, again, I'm going to squeeze the shape out of that J until it makes a small little teardrop shape. And I'm ready to add my pearls. I'll take one, thread it onto the wire. 24 gauge is a great gauge of wire for pearls, gems. It's one of my favorite gauges to work with. It fits most beads. So I start my wire wrap process. I call this the bend step. I take my chain nose plier, which is that flat alligator shaped tool, and I place my wire right in the mouth of the tool. And I can adjust where my wire sits in my tool by sliding it in or out of the jaw. I'm going to work close to the tip, and my tool is resting right on the bead, like that. Work a little bit further down. Now my tool hand does holding, and my opposite hand does the bending. So I'm going to push the wire over the top of the tool. When I take my tool out, I have a small neck there above the bead. My round noses go up in the corner. Using my working hand, I pull the wire up, over the top, around and down. My bead reminds me to stop because it gets in the way. I reposition my tool by taking the tool out and putting the bottom jaw in the loop and the top jaw on the top. And then I continue pulling the wire around under my tool, and I snug it up there. The tool's nice and round, so you may as well use that shape to help you with the loop. My wire's at a right angle in the perfect position for the wrapping. So next I take my chain nose pliers, grasp the loop, and with a crazy wrap, I can just start winding this wire around the neck here in any way I want. So I don't have to be neat about it. I don't have to tightly grab it. I can just wind. I'm wondering if you can see that. Any which way, any which way. And I like to use up all that wire. I push and push until I get a small little stub, and then I let my chain nose help me by squeezing it, kind of giving it a little chomp there. And when you're making a bird's nest wrap or a crazy wrap, you don't have to trim the excess wire. You just use your chain nose to chomp that end in. I can do some adjusting, as you can see I'm doing. I can fix the loop if it's oriented in a weird way, or I want to organize those wraps a little bit more. but it gives a free-form look to it, which is kind of a nice look. So I'll start with my second pearl, place it on my head pin, my chain nose sit right on top of the bead, and my tool hand holds, my opposite hand does the work. Bend the wire over the top of the tool. When I take my tool out, I have a small little neck at the top of the bead. I think I'll turn it from this direction this time. My round nose goes up in the corner. Same steps. My working finger pushes the wire up over the top, around and down. I stop when my wire hits the pearl. It reminds me to stop. And then I reposition my tool. So I take my tool out, put the bottom jaw in, the top jaw on the top. And again, I remind myself to make sure my tool fits in there snugly so I continue to make the same size loop I started. Pull my wire again under the tool, and my wire tail is sitting at a right angle here. Take my round nose out, grasp the loop with my chain nose pliers, and again, I just wind any which way, up, down, all around, doesn't matter. Keep going until I use up all the wire. And then I can use the chain nose pliers to help me chomp that little stub in so I don't have it sticking out. And again, if I need to adjust my loop in any sort of way, I can do that as well. So there is a crazy wrap, or a bird's nest wrap, a little pearl drop. I could attach my earrings, my ear wires to that, and I'll have some 2 little pearl earrings. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Thank you for watching, and happy beading.